Get ready for Mr. Greg Owens!
Thank you very much. I didn't think I was gonna make it out here, man. I didn't think I was gonna make it for this show. I got the worst flare-up of gout not too long ago, man. It hurt so bad. And I had to go to the urgent care, and I'm talking to the nurse there, and I'm like, how do I fix this? And she's going, you can reduce future flare-ups by cutting back on your salt, your red meat, and your alcohol, okay? And I'm like, all right, well, no big deal. I'm just gonna have to figure out a way to deal with future flare-ups, I guess. I mean, getting old, man. Getting old's brutal. I thought I was doing pretty good at getting old. I thought I was. I thought, it looked pretty good for my age. You know what I mean? I thought I was handling it well. And I found out not too long ago that Brad Pitt, that handsome son of a bitch, is older than me. He looks like that. I look like this, man. I mean, that guy, his hair's all in the right place, growing all beautiful. I'm getting expert level certification with an ear hair trimmer. I mean, if that dude just let his hair grow non-stop for like 3 weeks, just let it go crazy, every hair on his head, he would just look like some super cool surfer dude, you know what I mean? Still handsome as hell. If I did that, let every hair on my head grow wild for like 3 straight weeks, I'd look like a dead dandelion. After the kid went whoof, I mean, it's not fair, man. I mean, Brad Pitt's dating chicks half his age, and I gotta Google what pegging is. He's hanging out in hot tubs full of OnlyFans models, and I gotta get my prostate examined, It just doesn't seem right, man. You gotta get the prostate checked. Guys, get your prostates checked. It's an awkward thing, but we gotta do it. And I know, ladies, you don't wanna hear about it. Okay, big deal. You gotta get your prostate checked. You have no idea how hard it is being a woman. You got your awkward exams, the mammogram. I'm sorry. I don't know who invented that contraption, but I apologize, okay? I know, was it like some blacksmith cranking a horseshoe into a vise or something? He's like, this could work. This could work. I mean, guys, we gotta be thankful. We gotta be thankful that that's not how they check for testicular cancer. Man. So yeah, I had to go get my prostate, just prostate checked. That's fingers and it was a female doctor doing it, and I'd never had a female doctor even look in my ears before. Much less so again. So sure enough, I got to bend over the table there, and she's sticking her fingers in my ass, and I said, well, this is certainly a first. And she says, oh, you've never had a woman do this before? And I said, well, no, it's not that. But this is the first time I've been able to use my health insurance to pay for it. It's a pretty good health insurance plan. They don't let me make weekly appointments, though. Like, I came walking out past the receptionist after that one. I was like, same time next week, Tom? She's like, no, Mr. Owens, this is an annual examination, okay? Back to the rub and tug with you old pervert. It's good insurance, good insurance. The other good thing about my insurance is I get pills, maintenance drugs for free, like all the preventive maintenance drugs. There's a list of 130 of these drugs that we get completely free of charge. And trust me, between the 6 people in my family, we're taking every single thing on that list, okay? I mean, the drugs for the kids, holy shit, it's a bonanza, man. You got everything you need. You got your Adderalls, your Ritalins, your Prozacs, any drug you could possibly think of to properly raise children in the 2000s. I could get them, man. And I did, man. I gave them all to the kids, every single one of them, man. I didn't make them take the pills. I just had them bring them to school, sell them for lunch money. The ED pills, man, erectile dysfunction pills. It's on my insurance. Check that out. And I know you're looking at me going, oh, that guy probably pops those suckers like Tic Tacs. I don't really, man. I don't have anything for them, man. Shoot, I've been with the same woman 33 years, man. I got 4 kids. I got high blood pressure. I got bad cholesterol. I'm one steep staircase away from a heart attack, man. Got a dead-end job. I'm heavily in debt. What the hell do I want with an erection? And besides, I checked with my doctor. He said I was, in fact, not healthy enough for sex. Ouch. Doc, really not? He goes, yeah, you can't handle the sustained exertion. He said, sustained exertion. Sustained. Ladies, are you hearing this? Sustained. Who am I kidding, man? Takes me longer to get the mail. I'm talking email. Remember the commercials for ED pills when they first came out? Remember those commercials? You know, they were trying to make it seem like it's so romantic. You know that they had the old couple sitting in those clawfoot bathtubs. Remember that, right? Side by side clawfoot bathtubs, sun setting in the distance, waves lapping on the beach, right? Those people weren't getting ready to have sex. They were stuck. They were just sitting there arguing about what a stupid idea it was to get these goddamn bathtubs, man. Kids don't come back till Friday. We gotta make it through the whole week without our Centrum Silver and prune juice. We're not gonna fuck, we are fucked. We're Cialis because you never know when the moment might strike, right? Okay, yeah, we got the little cute couples doing such the romantic things. They're digging in their garden together. They're putting little plants in there, rubbing shoulders, they're elbow to elbow, and they're smearing mud on each other's face. Oh, so flirty. We're gonna have some sex. Hanging wallpaper, maybe, right? Hanging wallpaper. The lady's up on a stool. The wallpaper's falling off the wall. The paste is dripping in her face all suggestively. He's got his hand on her ass. We're gonna have some sex. I don't think so, people. I don't think so. Listen, I've had a long, successful marriage. I'm gonna tell you all something, okay? Don't hang wallpaper with your spouse. Hanging wallpaper with your spouse might not end in divorce, but it sure as shit doesn't end in mind-blowing sex, okay? Or you're gardening together? Okay, sure, you're gardening together. Picture it. It's 95 degrees outside, 70% humidity. You're digging tiny little holes. You got about a pound of mulch stuck in your belly button. You look over at your wife. She's hunkered down over this rusty old wheelbarrow, elbow deep in potting soil, right? She's got this big old bubble of snot going in and out of her nose. In and out of her nose. She's got a sweat stain on her ass that looks like the Horn of Africa. Oh, yeah. I gotta have some of that right now. Only thing you're thinking about is, Jesus Christ, what did she spend on begonias this year? My week started weird, man. I had to have a meeting with a dude at 7 o'clock Monday morning. I don't know who decides to set up meetings at 7 o'clock on a Monday morning, but I went through to Dunkin' Donuts to grab myself a coffee. So it's 6:30 in the morning. I don't know if any of you ever had this happen to you before, but I pulled up to the drive-thru, and Gladys, sweet lady, works the drive-thru at the Dunkin' Donuts. She says, the guy in front of me paid for my coffee for me. I'm not ready for that level of niceness at 6:30 on a Monday morning, people, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'm a nice guy. I like to do things too, but I gotta pick my times a little better than that, okay? I don't know who's jumping out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, pulling on their happy pants, going, hoo, 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 I'm gonna go put a smile on somebody's face, okay? I'm not doing that, man. That's not what I'm thinking about. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking about at 6:30 on a Monday morning at the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru is how am I gonna get this stack of coins that I just scrounged up out of my cup holder from this thumb and forefinger over to this thumb and forefinger and out the window and into the Dunkin' Donuts window without my fingers slipping and the coins flying all over the place. That's the genius that's going on in this brain at 6:30 on a Monday. Then Gladys hits me with it. She leans out of the window, a big smile on her face. She's like, isn't this so nice, sir? Isn't this sweet? Everybody's taking care of the car behind them. Everybody's paying it forward. Fuck me. I look in my rearview mirror, there's a big black Chevy Suburban back there, 4 fat dudes sitting in it. Looks like the carpool from the IT department at Paychecks or something. I don't know, I'm picking out, that's a dozen donuts, that's a box of munchkins. Now what's going through my head is the fact that the dude in front of me, he paid $1.69. Right? And he probably got like a whole number 5 bagel sandwich meal with a hash brown and a large chocolate mocha latte, right? And he's driving down the street patting himself on the back like he just made a landmark donation to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He can't wait to get into work and log on to Facebook and start handing out hugs and prayers all day long. I gotta come to grips with the fact that my small black coffee is about to cost me $37.50. Looking at Gladys, looking in the mirror, looking at Gladys. I just flung the coins and took off, man. I mean, poor Gladys, I feel bad. I mean, she's always running the Instagram account for the Dunkin' Donuts, right? So she's probably on there texting away going, well, we had a beautiful chain of about 35 cars this morning till the jerk off in a Toyota Corolla showed up. Had to break the chain, man. Someone had to do it. Anyway, wife and I are empty nesters. Where's my empty nesters? Yeah. Kids are all gone, man. So now we're just like a couple of old roommates, really. I mean, we argue about the chores. We steal each other's snacks. A couple times a year, we drink too much and end up having sex. It's a good life, man. I love it. I'm so happy, though. I really am, man. 33 years together, and thanks, man. I appreciate that somewhat, I guess. Nah, but I'm glad. I don't want to be in the single scene these days in the year 2024, man. It's crazy out there what's going on in the dating world with the Tinder apps and all that kind of shit. And the things they're doing these days. I'm a simple guy from a simple time. We just French kissed and tried to grab a boobie, first base. First base, second base, third base, you know what I mean? I mean, what the hell base is eating ass, okay? I mean, who came up with that? Was there like some girl going down on a guy and be like, these sweaty balls are nice, but there must be something worse down here. I don't know. Right? It's bad. Or a guy's like, what'd you have for lunch? This tastes like my lunch. Where's your lunch? Eating ass isn't a base, it's a foul ball. Yeah, so we got the kids raised and out of the house somehow. I think my wife probably pulled it off because I didn't have much to do with it. She's a good woman. She's a good mom. She wasn't one of crazy moms. She wasn't one of those psycho helicopter moms. You know, helicopter moms that are always hovering, watching every little thing, making sure everything's just perfect, right? You could pick them out in your neighborhood. The young helicopter mom, she's the one outside in the green jogging suit, the neon green jogging suit with her little cute ponytail pulled out through the loop and her baseball cap, jogging behind her $2,000 stroller with the real rubber tires on it and the mountain bike suspension so she can go off-road and get all that fresh air and vitamin D for the kid. He's gonna be the best kid ever. Okay, that same woman in about 10 years is gonna be completely strung out on Adderall. That's the only way she's gonna be able to keep her day job, still dominate the PTA, and spend all her free time polishing participation trophies. What's next after participation trophies? Thought about participating trophies? Nah, I definitely was not a helicopter parent, man. I was the opposite, man. You couldn't ever find me. I was always hiding, man. I was a submarine dad, okay? I had to deal with a helicopter mom once when the kids were young, like 20 years ago. I had to deal with this helicopter mom because we had a play date set up for the kids. You know, you always got to have a play date. You know, even 20 years ago, everything had to be organized. You had to know where they were going to be, what they were eating, what they were watching, how much outdoor time. And the thing is, that wasn't my life. When I grew up, man, we got out of the house and we were just horrifically unsupervised for potentially days, really. Like, if I didn't end up coming home at night, you know? I mean, I think if I didn't come home at night, my mom might be sitting there having her Manhattan and her Terryton cigarette going, I think he's on a sleepover. I mean, we could go out, you know, we'd go out and play, get abducted, thrown in a van, locked in a basement. We could escape and get back home before our parents even knew we left the yard. You know? Nowadays, you got these Amber Alerts that go out before they even get the pillowcase over the kid's head. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing. But, you know, my mom was always like, listen, you don't have to let me know when you get home. You don't have to call. If something goes wrong, I'm going to find out about it. So it wasn't that urgent. But, and we wouldn't tell our parents what happened, right? We wouldn't say, oh my God, we got thrown in this guy's basement. Because we knew we would get in trouble for it, man. It would be our fault, right? They'd be like, oh, you couldn't listen, could you? You didn't listen to us. What'd you do? You talked to a stranger, right? Okay. Don't listen to your parents. Do what you want to do. Who was it? The weird guy on the dead end that wears the leisure suits, huh? We told you to stay away from that house, but you just couldn't do it, right? What'd he lure you in with? Jolly Ranchers? Was that what he used? Jolly Ranchers? He didn't have Jolly Ranchers, did he? But he had zip ties, right? How'd you like it? Hope you had fun. I think our generation was the reason play dates were invented, right? So this lady, she's bringing her, we'll call her Airwolf, okay? She's bringing her kid over for a play date. She brings him up to the front door, and she's just grilling me to make sure everything's gonna be right. She's like, I want 60 minutes of outdoor time and no more than 45 minutes of TV. And she's just going full on Karen on me, okay? Which is weird because this was 20 years ago. Karens weren't even invented yet. My biggest fear was a cheerleader mom at those days. So then she goes on, and she hands me an EpiPen. She's like, and here's his EpiPen, because I'm sure you don't have one. And I was like, nah, no, you're right. I don't have one. I don't, you know why I don't have one? Because none of my kids have fucked up allergies, okay? We let them eat what they wanted to eat from day one. We weren't trying to protect them. We just said, have at it, kids. You want peanut butter? Have peanut butter. You want eggs? Eat the eggs. Gluten? Have all the gluten you want. I don't even know what gluten is. Just eat the gluten. Take it all. Have it. We don't know. Eat off the floor. We don't care if you eat off the floor. Eat the crumbs. I had a kid that kept a stove. He stowed goldfish crackers in his diaper. And I mean, we weren't complete pigs, man. I mean, we cleaned our house. Every Saturday was cleaning day, but Friday, man, it was a smorgasbord on that floor. But this lady was getting tired of me, man. She was getting fed up. She's like, okay, fine. Do you have any guns in your house? I was like, no, lady, no guns, okay? Just a lot of flaky lead paint and black mold, all right? You got a basement full of dangerously high levels of radon gas, all right? Oh yeah, our next door neighbor, he's a level 3 sex offender. But don't worry, he's getting better. He babysits for us all the time. In fact, I was thinking about having him come over for a couple hours this afternoon while I go out and have some brews with my boys. But doesn't Airwolf grab her kid and get the hell out of there right quick, man? My poor son comes to the door. He's like, hey, Dad, what happened to Joey? Sorry, son, Joey had to go. He had a bad case of uptight mama. But hey, I got the new Grand Theft, man. Let's play. Oh, man. So I got a lot of kids. I do got a lot of kids, and 4 kids, okay? I think that's a lot. I don't know if anybody's got more than that, but I got in an argument with a guy. He said 4 kids isn't a lot of kids. 8 kids is a lot of kids. And I was like, no, pal, 8 kids is just bad planning, okay? That's just you not paying attention to what you're doing, okay? I mean, maybe have a little self-control, show some restraint. I mean, maybe you could have wiped a couple of them off on the drapes for crying out loud. It happens, man. Drapes, duvets, wherever, man. Socks. Holy, Jesus Christ. After a while, I just started giving my socks children's names. In fact, I'm wearing a pair of Chad right now. And the thing is, parents, you know, I get this. As parents, you know, we're not supposed to say stuff like this, right? But he's my favorite. Funny thing about having a bunch of kids, or 4 kids, people think, oh, that's so nice. You have so many little helpers with the yard work. Okay, sure. What do I look Amish, man? I got a bunch of kids in overalls and straw hats going, hey, Paul, we hooked the ox up to the plow. Let's take care of that back 40 today. You got a better chance of negotiating Middle East peace than getting my 4 kids to cooperatively work in the yard. I give them all a rig, send them out back. I check on them in 15 minutes. They're all just kind of standing there, staring off into the distance. I'm like, geez, man. They say vaccines cause autism. Nah, yard work causes autism. I really can't complain. I'm not a yard work guy myself, which is bad because I live in a yard work neighborhood. I live where everybody takes phenomenal care of their properties, their yards. They got the greenest grass. They got raking leaves, man. They always are raking leaves. Never let a leaf sit in their yard for more than 24 hours, man. Suck them up with the thing and the raking. And the Owens, rake your leaves. Like, I can't. It's my Halloween decorations, okay? Making the house look haunted, all right? I got a neighbor whose yard is just a green, beautiful green carpet, man, just gorgeous. And one day he comes out of his front door and he sees a leaf in the middle of his yard. And he walks over to that one stupid leaf, picks it up, walks over to his trash can, throws it in his trash can, gets in his car and drives away. I was like, fuck you, man. His car went down the street, man. I walked over and kicked that trash can right over, man. Putting up with that. Holy. And grass, I try to grow grass. I can't grow grass. All I do is grow dirt. I'm out there every spring, man. I'm happy to do it. I got my little Scott's turf spreader fertilizer thing running around, bouncing off the sticks and rocks in my yard. But every year, around about the beginning of May, the dandelions figure out that my yard is the safe place in the neighborhood. Just a beautiful sea of yellow, man. Gorgeous. And then they all die, and it's back to dirt, man. It's up. I mean, if you sell a house, like, you know, the real estate guides, how they write them up. They're like, oh, it's a park-like setting. Enjoy the park-like setting. Or come see our fairways and greens, right? They try to make it sound so fancy. And I got to give it to them. My neighborhood, you drive down the street, park-like setting, fairways and greens, park-like setting, fairways and greens. You get to my house, it's France during World War I. Just like scraggly tree kind of hanging over, like craters and trenches, half a dead horse laying over there. It was bad. Not good. The AP history teacher from our high school runs field trips out to my house. Bus pulls up, they all pile off. She's like, look, kids, this is what Oklahoma looked like during the Depression. My kids had to take that field trip. They're like, Dad, the field trip's tomorrow. Can you do something? It's kind of embarrassing. Like, well, maybe you could help me out with the yard work, you know what I mean? They don't. And then people don't understand why your kids don't do yard work. I had a guy, I'm outside raking leaves one time by myself, and this guy walks by and he's like, hey man, don't you have 4 able-bodied teenagers back there in that house that could be out here helping you right now? I'm just like, no, I don't. First of all, there's no such thing as an able-bodied teenager, okay? Able-bodied teenager's an oxymoron, all right? You know what I got back there, buddy? You know what I got in my house? You know what's that? I got 4 closed bedroom doors. I don't know what the fuck's on the other side of them. I haven't seen anything come or go in months. I mean, we slide plates of food under the door once in a while, and we're pretty happy when an empty plate comes back out. I mean, we know they're there. We can hear them scurrying around at night like rats in the attic. I mean, we go to bed, the kitchen's spotless. We come down in the morning, and the sink is just full of just trashed, man. Just like cups with spoons in them. Cups with spoons everywhere. Cups with spoons. I don't know what they're making with these cups and spoons, but there's dozens of them, and they're all filled with water to the meniscus level, and with this little, and it's got a little bit of scum built on it already. I'm like, what? You're doing lab projects in the middle of the night? What the hell's going on here? Ah, man, kids are something. I'll tell you what, boy. Half of mine are gay. Which, people, that's an achievement, okay? That's doing something, all right? That's not something just anybody can do. That's a skill set that's rare to find, man, okay? Not just anybody can do that, okay? Not just anybody cranks out gay dudes like me. Yeah. It's like my mom said when I was young. She's like, don't worry, son. Someday you're gonna find something you're really good at. Boom. Gay baby making, that's me. I mean, it's 50% of my kids. That's batting 500, okay? That's gotta lead the league, okay? I don't just have swimmers. I got synchronized swimmers. Say what you want, man. Say what you want about these testes. These testes have some fabulous wallpaper. I'm sure of that. I love my kids, man. I really do. Doesn't sound like it, but I really do. I mean, you know, they don't like yard work and don't like cleaning. They're slobs, man. They're slobs. And it kind of surprised me. I'm like, think about it. People like had 2/5 of Queer Eye living right under my roof. I mean, you'd think I would have had, you know, my house would have been impeccable, man. Maybe throw a lavish dinner for me once in a while. Or, Nah, man, we get dirty socks on the coffee table, leave your shoes everywhere, everybody's constantly stepping over shoes. 2 gay kids, that's a lot of shoes, man, okay? They can't cook. You know what kids make and they think is like a gourmet meal? Microwave nachos, right? Is that the thing? Teenagers like can master how to do that, right? You know, and then, you know how they do it? They take a plate, right? Not a paper plate that they can throw out when they're done. Take a nice plate, like the kind of plate your mom only gets out when guests come over. You use one of them. You get it out and you put the nacho chips on there, the Tostitos, and then you grab that pre-shredded cheese from Wegmans, right? It comes in a bag. I call it bag cheese. It's all shredded up already. You take clumps of that and you just sprinkle it all over the chips, you know? Get another clump and sprinkle on the chips, get it on the plate, get it on the countertop, you know? Get it all over the counter. Get it on the oven too. Get some on there. Get it under the burners of the oven, right? Just keep grabbing more clumps of it. Get it on the floor, okay? Don't pick it up off the floor. Leave it on the floor. Okay. Stomp on it. Stomp on it. Stomp on it with your sock feet and grind it up into your sock so that when you walk around the house, you leave little orange dots of cheese everywhere. Then you take that plate and you throw it in the microwave for about 60 seconds on high until that cheese gets good and melty. And then when you bring that plate back out, you got about 30 seconds to eat that shit until that cheese turns into little strings of epoxy glue. And the chips just start breaking off when you try to eat it. They chip, chip, they break. Snack over, snack over. Leave the plate right there on the coffee table, go about your business, okay? Don't take it out to the kitchen. Don't put it in the sink. And God forbid, don't put it in the dishwasher. You leave it right there. In fact, put it under the table if you want. Put it under the table, because your feet need to go on the table. Put it under the sofa. Get it out of your way completely. Just throw... Or maybe up on a shelf. Put it up on a shelf. No one will notice it for weeks. Just do that. I was straightening up the living room one day and I saw a plate up on the shelf. I was like, oh my God, it had a sock in it. I was like, holy shit, is that Chad? Grabbed the sock, the whole plate came with it. That's tough, man. One of my kids called me a while back. They wanted to get a dog. I was like, really, a dog? Yeah. They said they missed owning a dog. I was like, well, hold on a second. Last time you owned a dog, you were like 10, okay? I owned the dog, all right? No, wait. The dog owned me, all right? Because that's the way it is these days. People, we don't own dogs. They own us, okay? Owning a dog ownership, you know, that's not getting licked in the face every morning and having a cute little cuddle buddy on your bed, okay? Owning a dog is walking around the neighborhood with a leash in one hand and a little boot baggie of poop in the other hand, okay? Owning a dog standing in a vet's office lying about why the vaccinations aren't up to date, you know? That's dog ownership. We bought one of those golden doodles, right? You know, they are like the most popular dog in the world right now. That's part poodle and part golden retriever, which I don't know if they did that on purpose, but they found out it makes them hypoallergenic, which I don't even know what that means, but it must be good because those things are fucking expensive now. This place is mixing poodles with everything, man. They had a golden retriever, golden doodle, Labrador retriever, labradoodle, German shepherd and a poodle, shepherd doodle. They just look like gay police dogs. Cockapoo, a cockapoo, cocker spaniel and a poodle. Cocker spaniel's a little dog, man, right? And a poodle, that's a sizable dog. I don't know how that mating goes, man. I mean, I'm like picturing Lil Wayne banging Lizzo or something. Make some hip-hop superstar that's hypoallergenic. I don't know, man. And you can't, we bought our dog, and I know you don't just go buy a dog from a puppy mill. You gotta rescue a dog, right? You gotta rescue one, which I get that. And I don't understand. I know dog lovers, good on you for loving your dog so much, but what I don't get is when the dog dies, 2 weeks later, they're getting a new dog. But the thing about it is they're saying how much the dog's we lost a part of our family, our heart is torn in half. But then you go get another one 2-3 weeks later. But you ever walk up on somebody's front porch and see some old lady sitting in a rocker and say to your buddy, say, hey man, what's with the old broad in the rocker? He's like, oh, that's my new mom, she's a rescue. And the ones I love the most are the ones that are like, oh, we didn't rescue the dog, he rescued us. Oh, okay, is that what happened? Sure, what happened? You were driving down some icy mountain road, lost control of your car, it flipped over the guardrail, tumbled down into the raging waters of the river below, and some pit bull Pomeranian mix just happened to be hiking by. And selflessly flung himself into the icy waters and smashed out your windshield, dragged your two lifeless bodies to shore, gave you a CPR, called 911, and waited till help arrived? Is that how you got rescued? Is that what he did? Or do you find shitting on the carpet and then sleeping on your sofa with all his junk hanging out heroic? Is that what warms your heart? Is that what fulfills you? Coming down the steps in the morning and seeing that nice steamy pile of diarrhea right on the carpet there, 5 inches away from the hardwood where you could have just wiped it right up. My hero. Kids, man, they'll send you to a midlife crisis, boy, I'll tell you. Which I couldn't even have a midlife crisis, really. I couldn't afford to have a midlife crisis. That buddy bought a motorcycle, another dude bought a boat. I'm trying to get 4 kids through college. I got a wife who gets rid of money like her purse is on fire. All the reasons I should be having a midlife crisis is exactly why I can't even afford it, man. So I thought about it. I was like, I'll go on the economy plan. I just started shaving my balls like a porn star. I got it figured out, man. I got it. It looks good down there now. It looks good, man. I like it, man. My wife likes it. Pretty much anybody I show likes it. Wasn't easy, though. I mean, it took some work getting there. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know, how am I going to do this, man? I mean, because that's not just something you're going to grab a razor blade and start going to town on down there, right? You know? I mean, and then somebody's like, you know, they have kits for that now, like manscaping, and they have, I mean, that's still an electric razor with a blade going back and forth like this. I'm not putting that near that, okay? I'd rather have Michael J. Fox down there with a straight razor. I mean, so I came up with the idea. It's like, I know what I'll do. I'll just get some of that hair removal cream. Chet. Well, thanks a lot now. But why couldn't you been there in that aisle at Wegmans with me when I'm like staring this shit down like I'm trying to pick out a barbecue sauce, you know? You go, hey, excuse me, you're not gonna put that on your scrotum, are you? Like, well, yeah, I'm having a midlife crisis. I just grabbed the first box I saw. I didn't know what I was doing, man. I lathered up with that stuff. Holy shit. That could have stripped the hair off a silverback gorilla. I thought I was teabagging a beaker of sulfuric acid. I was scared to look down, man. I was like, see a little grape stem and a couple of little raisined up. Ugh. So I was like, I got to do it with the razor, and I'm sorry if some of you are still trying to finish your food and you'd like me to move on. I cannot. I need to finish. But I just, so I did, and the thing is, you know, I still didn't know, but I'm a hairy guy, okay? And yeah, I get it. It doesn't look like it, okay? But like from the neck down, I'm like a bald Chewbacca, okay? Give you a little taste of what I'm talking about. When I was young, I used to drink a lot. I mean, I still do, but when I was young, I drank a lot. And I came home from the bar one night, and I managed to get my shirt off before I just passed out face down right in front of our fireplace in our house. I woke up about 3 hours later with my roommate and his girlfriend cuddling on my back. Just to give you an idea, okay? So I didn't know. I just like all this hair. I was like, I'll just clear out the center, I guess. Just whoop. So it was all the hair and boop, a little big white spot right there. And I kind of looked like a dog coming out of the veterinarians, okay? My wife saw me. She's like, Jesus, you didn't just get neutered, did you? She put one of those plastic cone things on my head. Like she was worried about me licking down there or something. But the kids, I love my kids. I keep talking about them, man. But they grow up fast, right, parents? Thank frickin' God for that, man. The high school years, man, just 4 short years, but they're just so jam-packed with drama. So much going on, the relationship issues and the anxiety and the depression, experimenting with drugs and drinking and driving. And then the kids have their problems. You know, I remember one time when one of my kids was pretty young, they had an art project. We got called in for a conference with the teacher because they had an art project where they had to draw something that our parents would like, and my son drew a picture of a bottle of beer. And sure enough, right on the label, it said B-E-R. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, this is very embarrassing. I can't believe the kid can't spell beer. And she's like, well, Mr. Owens, this is a little concerning. Is there anything we should know about going on at home? And I was like, well, yeah, we're having a party Friday. Come on over. And she came to the party. But we weren't always crappy parents, man. We really wanted to do all the right things, man. We were gonna do whatever it took to keep our kids off of drugs. We didn't want them smoking pot, because back then, 20 odd years ago, that was the gateway drug, right? It was the thing that got it all. Now it's a miracle drug, right? But back then, we were gung-ho young parents. We're gonna do whatever we gotta do. We're gonna keep our kids off of pot. And it wasn't long before we realized that no matter what we do, we're not keeping our kids off of pot. And then finally, come Father's Day and Christmas time, I started getting gifts from the kids that are pot. My daughter flew home from LA for Christmas a few years back. She brought me these edibles, which those of you not sure what an edible is food. It's made out of pot. And you eat some and you get high sooner or later. You don't know when. That's a tricky little drug to give to an old dude like me. I got a problem with a drug that's supposed to get you high, and it doesn't get you high until hours after you forgot you even wanted to get high. So she flew, I'm like, honey, I don't think you should have flown across the country with these things, right? And she's like, don't worry about it, Pop. It's only illegal if you get caught. It's like, wow, man, little girl's making decisions like her old man. That's a proud daddy moment right there. She's like, be careful with them though, Dad. Read the directions, okay? Because there's little things. They come in a little tin. They're all packaged up, all nice, and they called them blueberries, right? And they did. They looked like a blueberry. Tastes like shit. Looked like a blueberry. He said, take one and wait a while before you take another one, were the instructions. So I did. I took one, waited like 10 minutes. Took another one. Waited like 10 minutes. Took another one. I mean, I had like 5 of these things in me before the kids realized what I was doing. My son looks at me and he's like, yo. Dad is gonna green out, man. I don't even know what that means, man. But about 20 minutes later, my easy chair turned into the Batmobile. I had the munchies so bad, man, I had to find the first thing I could to eat. It just turned out to be this horribly unripe banana. And this thing was so green, it tasted like a cucumber. Because it was a cucumber. Which probably explains why it was so fucking hard to peel. Hey, you guys, I really appreciate you coming out. My name's Greg Owens. Thank you very much.